Hey guys, Coach Rogers here. I have a Bodyweight Superset workout to give you guys today. And I'm putting this out there because I know these are tough times. Our basketball season is delayed or maybe canceled. Your baseball season's probably doing the same thing. But there's no reason that you shouldn't still be getting some activity in and staying productive during this break that we got. So I'll go through this really quick and then hopefully you guys will give it a try on your own. So the Bodyweight Superset workout, it's going to start with 2 minutes of jump rope or a 400-meter run. And everything today, it's either going to be no equipment or minimal equipment so that you guys can do it at home. So if you have a jump rope, I highly encourage you, set a timer on a phone or a stopwatch or whatever you have for 2 minutes and just try to jump for 2 minutes. And if you make a mistake, that's okay. Just keep going from where you were. Okay? It doesn't have to be perfect. If you don't have a jump rope, and I know some of you don't, that's fine. You can take a 400-meter run. Okay? That should take you, same thing, about 1 minute and 30 seconds to 2 minutes. So, you can estimate, go around your block or something like that. Okay, but 1 minute and 30 seconds to 2 minutes. When you finish, we're going to go into our first superset. And what a superset is when you have an exercise, normally what you would do is you would do so we have 3 sets of 10 push-ups for our first superset. Is people would do 10 push-ups, and then they'll rest, and then they'll do 10 push-ups again, and they'll rest and do 10 push-ups again. Instead, what we're going to do is a superset. So you're going to do an exercise during the rest period. So you're going to do 10 push-ups, and then after your 10 push-ups, you'll go right into 10 split squats per side. Then you'll rest about 30 seconds and repeat. So 10 push-ups, 10 split squats, rest, 10 push-ups, 10 split squats, rest. We're going to do that 3 times. Okay. All these exercises, I know some of you guys know them, so if you just want to see the board and look at it and go, that's fine. Otherwise, at the end, I'll put in little demonstrations of all of them. Okay. Second one, it's going to be 10 rows or Supermans, so you get to choose. And on this one, if you have the equipment, you're going to want to do the rows. And these are really, really important, both these exercises, because they're working on the muscles in our back. And a lot of times those are neglected, especially in bodyweight workouts, especially if you don't have a pull-up bar. So those are going to be your options for the first one. So 10 rows or 10 Supermans, and then a 45-second plank. So same thing, you'll do 10 rows, 45-second plank, rest about 30 seconds, do it again, and we'll do that 3 times. Right when you're finished with that, third superset, it's going to be 10 squats and then 10 plank push-ups. So once again, I know the plank push-ups you guys might not know, so I'll show you a little demonstration of them at the end here, but it's going to be 10 squats, straight into 10 plank push-ups, rest about 30 seconds, and you'll do that 3 times. Right when you're done, you're going to go for either another 2-minute jump rope or a 400-meter run. Okay? So this workout should be done with no more than about 30 seconds rest at any one time. And what that's going to help you do is not only build strength through the bodyweight exercises, but also get a little bit of cardio in because you're moving consistently. Also recommend when you're done, get a little stretch in. And if you guys like these videos, I will put up maybe a stretching routine for you next week. But for now, just spend 5-10 minutes stretching afterwards. This 2-minute run or jump rope should be a good warm-up to start. So hopefully this works out well for you. If you have any feedback for me, let me know. And then right after this, you guys should see the exercises demonstrated if you need them. So again, hope you're having a good break, and hopefully we'll be back to our normal routine soon. All right, so for our first superset, we have the 10 push-ups and the 10 split squats per side. It's going to be kind of hard for me to show you because of the angle with the push-ups on the ground. I know you guys know these, but one thing to think about, I'm watching your push-up tests, and we get a lot of people that are getting our elbows really wide like this. You want to kind of start to tuck your elbows in, especially you athletes and you baseball players out there, because when you have your arms really wide, and maybe if I'm on this bench, you can see what I'm talking about, is if my elbows go out on my push-up, I'm putting a lot of pressure on my shoulders, right? And I know especially like you pitchers out there, when you guys are pitching, if you put a lot of pressure on your shoulders and then you throw a lot of pitches, it's going to stress that arm out, and you don't want to do that. Okay, so when you do your push-ups, think about kind of turning your hands out a little bit, and then you don't have to do, right, like tricep push-ups in super close, but think about just barely tucking your elbows in and making sure you keep your hands under your shoulders. Okay, but the one I want to show you guys is the split squats, because this, some of you guys might know how to do, some might not. Okay, so the easiest way to do this is put one foot out in front, the other one back behind, and then on my back foot, I'm going to go up on my toe, and then I'm going to drop my back knee towards the ground where it almost touches, and then come back up. Okay, so that's going to be 1, 2, right, and go all the way to 10. If you have a raised surface, or if you want to make this a little more difficult, you can prop one foot up on, see, I have a bench here, you could use really anything. But I can put one foot up, kind of jump to where I get comfortable, and then drop that back knee, right? And I'm going to get a bigger range of motion here, okay? The last thing, if you really want to make it more challenging, I don't know that you'll need to do this, but I have a bunch of kettlebells over here. You might have, I don't know, whatever, a backpack or something heavy, a cooler. I'm just looking at stuff in my garage, but you'll find something, and you can put your foot back up there, same exact thing, just holding the weight. Okay. So those are the exercises for the first superset. You got push-ups and split squats. All right, so our second superset started off with the rows. It was the rows and the plank. I'm very fortunate to have a pull-up bar with a set of rings out here. It's going to make this really easy. I know some of you might have a gym in your garage, but a lot of you don't. So if you don't, I'll give you some alternatives to this one. But if you have a TRX, or if you have rings, or if you have anything like this, it's going to be really similar. So you're going to hold on to your rings or your TRX. You're going to walk your feet down. Keep your body nice and stable, right? Almost like you're doing a plank, so I'm kind of squeezing my legs and squeezing my stomach. And then I'm going to pull myself up so the rings come to my armpits, control it on the way down. Okay. Like I was saying before, this is really good for working on the muscles in your back. It's kind of like the opposite of a push-up. And that's really important. You know, we do a lot of pressing. When you guys get older, you'll see people want to always be doing a lot of bench pressing. But you have to keep some sort of equilibrium, and doing pulling exercises are going to do that. So rows are going to be pulling exercise, and then I'll show you guys the Supermans in just a second here. All right, so if you don't have rings, and I know this will be probably most of you on this workout, it's okay. You can do Supermans instead. So you're going to have the Supermans and the plank as this next superset, if that's the case. So on the Superman, you're going to lie down onto your belly, and then you're going to try to lift your torso and your legs off the ground at the same time. When you do that, you want to see if you can hold it for at least 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds up at the top. And you really want to think about squeezing the muscles in your lower back and in your glutes. Okay, so that one will look like this. I'm going to lie down, arms out in front, legs behind me. I'm going to lift up, hold it for a second, come on down, okay, so that's the Superman, and if you're doing the plank, it's easy enough, you just go straight into a forearm plank. So I keep my shoulders right over my elbows, nice flat back, up on my toes. I'm looking right down between my hands, and I'm just going to hold it. So 45 seconds on this one. For our last superset, the first exercise are the squats. On the squats, feet are going to be just outside the shoulder width apart. And then, I know it's hard, I don't know if you guys can see my toes, but I point them just barely out. If you point your toes straight forward, kind of puts you in an awkward position where your hips get tied up and you can't get as low in your squat. So you don't want to be way out like this, but just barely point your toes out. And then when we go down, brace your core, so squeeze your stomach, and then push your hips back and down like you're sitting in a chair. Okay. And one thing to look out for on this is make sure your knees are tracking over your toes. And what I mean by that is I'm actively like pushing my knees out a little bit, especially since I open my feet up. If I let my knees dive in like this, it puts a lot of pressure on your knees, especially your ACL. So if you ever see somebody and they're like jumping like this, it's something you guys need to work on, right? Is being able to keep your hips engaged, so pushing them out, then going back and down. Okay, just like the split squat, if this one is not too difficult for you and you want to grab a weight, you can hold it out in front of you like this. This is called a goblet squat. Do them that way. You don't have to. I know for some of you 10 squats is not going to be that difficult. So that's the squat. This is the plank push-up. On the plank push-up, you're going to be in your plank position just like you were on the last superset, and then you're going to go up to a push-up position and back down. Only thing to look out for on this one, well, two things. One is try to stay in that same plank position you were in, and then the second one, alternate hands. You don't want to put the same hand up first every time, or you could, eventually you're working your way to an imbalance. So I'm in my plank position, and then from here, I'm going to put one hand down onto the ground under my shoulder, push up, and then I'll go down. So I did a couple on one side, so now I'll switch. Do a couple on the other side. All right, so that was our whole workout. I hope some of you guys tried this out. Hopefully it gives you a way to stay active while we're all cooped up at home. If you have any questions, let me know. Just leave a comment or send me an email. And if this is something you guys like, same thing, let me know, and maybe I can add some more while we're all stuck at home. So have a good one, and hopefully we'll see you guys soon.